On our wedding night, my stepsister Bella called my husband Eric. Is this Eric? I think I might be drunk. Can you come pick me up? Eric hung up and said to me, is your sister not right in the head? I hadn't even responded when Eric added, like an idiot. On our wedding night, before I even got a chance to be with Eric, his phone rang. It was from an unknown number. Hello? Is this Eric? A faint, sweet voice came through, so loud I could hear it from beside him. Eric frowned and turned on the speakerphone. Hey, Eric, I think I'm drunk, Bella slurred. Can you come get me? I didn't dare call my sister. She's got a temper. Ah, that's my lovely stepsister for you. Eric looked at me, confused, and whispered, how did she get my number? I shrugged. Probably from my stepmom, Tina. Eric? Bella called out again since Eric hadn't responded. Are you listening? I feel so bad. It's so hot. Eric grimaced, like he'd just found a worm in his food. Hello? Who is this? I can't hear you. Not interested in buying insurance. Got our own place. And just like that, Eric hung up and blocked Bella's number. After hanging up, Eric shrugged. Is your sister not right in the head? I didn't even get a chance to say anything before Eric added, like an idiot. I couldn't help but laugh. Babe, don't let others ruin our mood, shall we continue? Eric hugged me, and I nodded. Not half an hour later, my dad called. Eric pouted but stayed silent. Hey, what's up, Dad? I answered. Oh, Helen, your sister called. Said she's lying in a bar and you should maybe go get her. It's not safe for a girl in a bar. Dad, it's my wedding night. You're really asking me to pick someone up on my wedding night? Oh, come on, give me that. I heard Tina nearby. Helen, huh? She's your sister. What's wrong with picking her up? So what if it's your wedding night? Is that more important than your sister? Tina shouted, her voice rising. Eric's face darkened. He took the phone from me, Mom and Dad, right? It's Helen and my wedding night. Not the best time to do chores for others. If you're interested, you can go yourself. I'll rent a car for you. My treat. Hey, Eric, who do you think you are, talking like that? So arrogant. Tina's voice became sharper. Because I have money. Eric hung up. Sorry. Eric tossed his phone aside, leaning against my shoulder, apologizing. Even though they're your parents, I couldn't help it. It's fine. You know, they've never really treated me like their daughter. We chatted a bit more and then went to sleep. The next day, after work, we came home to find the entryway light on, the door slightly open, not fully shut, and a pair of women's shoes at the entrance. I had a bad feeling. Someone home? Eric asked, surprised to see the lights on. Eric, you're back, Bella appeared wearing an apron. Just then, Tina called me, hey, is this Helen? Bella's a senior now and moved out of the dorm, so I let her stay at your place. She's young, so take good care of her, won't you? You let her in without a word? And how did Bella get a key to our place? Why should I give a heads up? We're family. Why act like strangers? Oh, you're such a disappointment. Unbelievable. I hung up right away. Bella looked at my angry face, then at Eric's equally displeased expression, her eyes going red and teary. Am I troubling Eric? Sis, if you don't want me here, I'll move out. Bella removed her apron, dragging her suitcase to the door. Eric, I made some food. Don't know if you'll like it. I'll go. Bella, clearly awkward, might be hoping Eric would ask her to stay. Eric took his shoes off, came inside, and had me sit on the couch, handing me a blanket and some snacks. Watch some TV. I'll make some food. With that, he dumped Bella's food into the trash. I didn't get a chance to stop him. Wasting food. I resignedly thought. No waste, babe. Smell it, it's gone bad. Can't eat. Eric feigned innocence with wide eyes. He turned to Bella. Why haven't you left? Forgot something? Bella stood there with her suitcase, unsure what to do. She must feel awkward, I guess. Haven't found a place yet, Bella hesitated. Oh, I see, Eric nodded. Seeing Eric think, Bella thought there might be a chance and quickly said, It's really cold outside today, Eric. Can you? Before she could finish, Eric interrupted. Why not stay at a hotel? Looking at Bella's flushed face and Eric's insistence she leave, I had to laugh. Bella loved taking my things since we were kids, from toys to Eric, never succeeding once. She spent 21 years getting nowhere and is likely still shadowed by my success. But so what? She deserves it. Why not let her stay for one, I started, but Eric pulled me into the room. Are you stupid? Can't you see your sister's a jerk? Why keep her around? Eric animatedly gestured. I know. I laughed. Doesn't matter. Didn't lose anything. If she wants to see us happy together, let her. Let her envy us. Understanding dawned on Eric, his mixed eye color filled with respect. He cheerfully pulled Bella's suitcase back in. Hey, Bella, your sister says it's late. How about sleeping here tonight? Thanks, Eric. At dinner, Eric served me, as Bella thought it was for her. Thanks, Eric, she started, but Eric handed it to me. Bella awkwardly pulled her hand back, coughing to cover her embarrassment. Babe, have some more veggies. Eric kept serving me food. Usually, Eric serves me, but tonight was excessive. My bowl never emptied despite eating for a while. Eric's such a good husband, Bella began trying to cause trouble. She tucked her hair behind her ear, smiling naturally. I hope my future husband is like Eric. You think you deserve it? Eric blurted out. Huh? Bella was taken aback by Eric's remark. Then Eric chuckled a couple of times and asked me in slightly awkward Chinese, Honey, did I use that phrase right? I pretended to be serious and shook my head. That's not how you say it. Oh, okay. Eric nodded as if he learned something new and apologized to Bella. I'm still getting used to some Chinese phrases. Don't be offended if I said it wrong. You aren't upset, right, Bella? Of course not, Bella said, stuffing a couple more bites of rice into her mouth, clearly annoyed. The atmosphere became icy, though only for Bella. She ate in silence, until she couldn't hold it anymore after tasting some of the tomato and egg stir-fry Eric made. Eric, this tomato and egg stir-fry is so delicious. Yeah. Eric picked up a piece of meat and put it in my bowl. Eat more, honey. You're getting too thin. I chuckled. Where do you see me getting thin? You've made me gain like 10 pounds. I said you're thin, so you're thin. My honey is always the thinnest and needs to eat more. Eric looked at me with a grin, his bright eyes like two gems. Hey, Eric, how about teaching me how to make this wonderful tomato and egg stir-fry? Bella said, sticking her tongue out, trying to be cute. But since she's not really the cute type, especially with her somewhat unclean face, it just looked awkward. Eric found it amusing, and he suddenly gagged. What's wrong? I patted his back and handed him a glass of water. Eric, are you okay? Are you feeling unwell? Bella came closer and reached out to touch Eric's forehead. I'm fine, totally fine. Eric brushed away Bella's hand. I just suddenly felt nauseous, like I was going to throw up. I laughed out loud. Are you feeling better now? I asked him. Eric snuggled up to my hand. Much better with you here. All right, let's get back to eating. Everyone got back to the table, and Bella tried to cozy up to Eric again. Eric, about what I asked earlier, can you teach me how to cook? Even an idiot could learn this? Eric blinked, getting into it. Whether you can learn it, you should know yourself. Bella was left speechless, frozen in place. Her face turned as red as a monkey's butt, though I couldn't tell if it was from embarrassment or anger. Honey, I just learned these phrases from TikTok. Did I use them right? Eric asked me once more. This dummy was really going at Bella. But it didn't bother me, I liked it. How could you say that to Bella? I pretended to scold Eric a bit. That's not how those phrases are used. Oh, I see. Eric looked a bit down for a moment, then turned back to Bella. Bella, I don't fully grasp some Chinese expressions yet, but please don't take it to heart if I say something wrong. We're cool, right? Bella thought for a while and then nodded. She looked at me, but her eyes showed unwillingness. I raised my eyebrow at her in challenge. Trying to snatch my man? You're not there yet. What's up, Bella? Why are you giving me that look? I put some food into Bella's bowl. Are we not being good hosts, and you're unhappy? Of course not. Bella squeezed out a smile but moved her bowl away, not letting me put more food. Eric is really nice to me. Oh. Are you sure? I almost bust a gut laughing at her. Bella was pushing the limits of how thick-skinned someone could be. If there was an award for that, Bella would definitely get the gold. To be honest, I don't even think Bella really likes Eric that much. She's just jealous of me. But taking stuff from me and flaunting it to feel superior is something she can only dream about. Despite failing for so long, she's still doing crazy things like a mad dog. Frankly, I admire her for it. Shameless people fear nothing. After dinner, I was on the couch watching TV, while Eric cleaned up in the kitchen. Bella kept sitting down, then looking towards the kitchen. I guess she wants to help, but Eric's earlier comments made her hesitate. Finally, she mustered up the courage to go to the kitchen. Eric, maybe I can help you with the dishes? Really? Eric's eyes lit up. Uh-huh. Bella was eager to see Eric smile, so she stood beside him and started stacking the dishes. Thanks, Bella. Eric gave her a hearty pat on the shoulder, causing Bella to wince in pain. Don't just stand around, take my spot and wash. Huh? Bella was confused as Eric moved her to his spot. Bella put on gloves, and Eric stepped aside. Great, now I can spend more time with my wife. Bella, make sure you wash thoroughly. Helen's a bit of a neat freak. Best if you wash each dish 3 times. Can you manage? Of course. And just like that, Eric left Bella to herself. Honey, want me to peel you a grapefruit? Do you want some walnuts? Should I get you a candied haw for a treat? Eric kept calling me, and after a while, we heard the sound of a dish hitting the floor in the kitchen. We went to check out the noise. Bella was there, looking tearful over a cut on her fingertip. Eric frowned, clearly worried. Bella noticed his expression too. Eric walked over to Bella, who offered her hand with an apologetic face. Eric, I'm okay. But that dish was special to me. Eric replied before she could speak. What? Bella's eyes widened in disbelief. That dish was from the day Helen and I got engaged. It's really dear to us. Eric carefully picked up the pieces. Be more careful next time, okay? Stop, watch your hands. I nudged Eric away, and he obediently stopped picking up the pieces. Seeing Eric upset, Bella stammered, Sis, Eric, I didn't know how much this dish meant to you. I'm really sorry, I didn't know. Shall I buy you a new one, identical to this? Her voice got quieter and quieter, almost becoming a whisper. I could feel she was really scared of Eric, deep down. Yet she didn't stop her act, blushing and crying prettily with tears. All right then. Eric said, stop crying. Replace it with an identical one and I'll forgive you. Huh? Really replace it? What do you think? Eric shrugged and asked me, Honey, was my phrasing off? Bella seems not to get it. No, you did great, I replied. So then. Bella reluctantly extended her finger. Oh dear, Bella, how did you get hurt? I took a band-aid from the counter and handed it to her. Be more careful next time. Bella got hurt? Eric finally realized. Yeah. Bella nodded vigorously, but it wasn't that bad, didn't hurt much. Yeah, the cut's pretty small. Eric pointed to the wound, any later, and it'd heal up by itself. I can't remember how Bella managed to stay, but I laughed in the bedroom all night. Eric snuggled up to me, watching the latest movie. Hey, do you think Bella's pretty? I asked him as I lay in his arms. He shook his head. I don't like her, she's not as pretty as my wife. She's all showy with awful acting and tries to mess with our relationship. Honey, how come you've got a sister like that? Well, we have the same dad. I shrugged. Eric played with my hair. Don't get mad if I'm stirring up things between you and your family. Your parents are no good. They're awful to you. You might as well cut them off. I thought about it but said nothing. I probably should talk to them and clear things up. The next day, Eric and I went to work at the company we both work for. He's my boss, but we didn't want to make waves, so we kept our relationship and marriage a secret from our coworkers. I didn't expect Bella to use this as a chance to try and break us up. It was lunchtime, and before I could ask Eric to join me for lunch, Bella showed up at the office with a lunchbox. She'd asked around until she found Eric. Whoa, who's this? A new girl? Looks like she's coming this way. Someone's girlfriend? Guys in the office started chatting. Bella approached Eric. Eric, I made you lunch. Wow, she's Eric's girlfriend. Eric's been holding out on us. Yeah, lucky him. The whole room was stirring, and Bella didn't deny it, just smiled shyly. I wasn't worried. I knew Eric would put Bella in her place. And he didn't disappoint. Don't call me that, my wife might get the wrong idea. Huh? She's not Eric's girlfriend? A curious female colleague asked. I don't have a girlfriend like that. Eric shook his head and added, I'm married. Everyone was stunned. Then who's this girl? Another colleague pointed at Bella, hesitating. Our sales manager tapped the colleague's shoulder. What else? A wannabe. But Eric said he's married. The atmosphere got awkward. Eric continued, I didn't want to tell you all to avoid unnecessary trouble. But it seems today, I have no choice. He pulled out a ring from his pocket and slipped it onto his ring finger. Honestly, I'd never really noticed how handsome Eric was until today. No wonder Bella was after him. I have a wife, you all know her. Eric said, looking at me, it's Helen. Helen's hardworking and has so much charisma. I fell for her at first sight. So yeah, we fell in love and got married. This here is Helen's half-sister, Bella. Once the cat was out of the bag, everyone looked at me. I smiled awkwardly. She knows I'm married. Eric grinned, nothing like his usual silly self with me. When surrounded by people, she didn't even dare to call me Eric. Her intentions are pretty clear without me saying. Eric, no, it's not like that, Bella shook her head trying to explain. I have feelings for you. Feelings for me? Eric stuck his hands in his pockets, took a step forward, and looked intimidating. Bella was so scared she stopped talking. What feelings? Eric persisted, why don't you tell everyone what your initial intentions were? I'm curious why you went to such lengths. Eric, don't you get it? Bella was crying like she'd been wronged. Some female coworkers, feeling sorry for her, handed her a tissue. I like you, just like my sister does. Oh, do you like me, or just like taking what's your sister's? Eric pressed on, Bella, don't lower your head now. I thought you liked me. Why does it seem more like you're scared? Honestly, I was surprised too. Bella was too scared to speak or even look at Eric. Eric always seemed like a simple guy to me, always acting cute with me. But today, he was so cold, almost like one of those harsh CEOs from the dramas. Look at me when you talk. Eric commanded. Bella backed away until she was at Eric's office door. She suddenly bowed deeply, sorry. Then she fled in a hurry. All right then, troublesome folks are gone. Eric clapped his hands and turned back into the guy I knew. Everyone, get back to work. Don't overwork yourselves, make sure to balance work and rest. When I got home that night, Bella's suitcase was gone. Just as Eric and I finished dinner, there was a knock at the door. I opened it to see my parents, with Bella standing behind them. The moment Tina entered, she started grabbing my hair. Helen, you think you're something now, huh? Got a decent job, a great Eric, and now you're full of yourself? You're a grown woman, and your sister's just a child. Don't you feel any shame bullying your own sister? What are you doing? Eric hurriedly pulled Tina's hand off of me. This is our home, and you're not welcome here, please leave. Eric said firmly, his face serious. My parents' faces darkened, especially Bella, who was just trembling behind them. After Eric yelled earlier, she didn't dare look him in the eye. You're an outsider, what gives you the right to yell at us? Tina continued her tantrum, trying to come at me again, but my dad stopped her. I'm Helen's husband, this is our home. So really, who's the outsider here? Eric argued back, refusing to back down. You. Tina was so angry she couldn't speak. I patted Eric's chest, calming him down, then stepped forward and asked my parents sternly. When did I ever bully Bella? Honestly, when I was in school, I used the money I earned from summer jobs for Bella's allowance. My supplies, my food, my clothes, my living expenses, did you ever pay a cent? You even took the money my mom sent me. Didn't I help Bella with her college applications? Even the necklace Bella's wearing, I bought it when I was in college. What do I owe her? My parents were lost for words. I went on, Dad, ever since you divorced my mom, did you fulfill your duty as a father? As for you, I looked at Tina, I've respected you as a mom, but do you really deserve it? You. Tina's face scrunched up with anger, she pointed at me wanting to curse, but nothing came out. Helen, it's Dad's fault. My dad sighed, pulling Tina behind him. But this has nothing to do with Bella. Everything has to be reasonable, right? Bella stayed at your place for just one night, and she came back looking so worn out, plus she's hurt. We asked what happened, but she won't say. Helen, tell your dad the truth. Did you and him bully Bella? I agree with Dad's point. Eric nodded. Doesn't Dad always say everything should be reasonable? Let's talk it out. How did Bella get a spare key to our house? She used a key to open the door yesterday. If I remember correctly, we only have 3 keys to our lock. One is with me, one with Helen, and one in the cabinet. Eric said this as he opened the cabinet by the door, but the key was already gone. Besides Mom, Dad, Bella, no one else comes to our home, so you should know better than us when the key went missing. Speaking of Bella, Eric continued. Dad, Mom, do you know why Bella wants to stay at our house so much? Eric glanced at the guilty Tina and smiled. Mom, you must know, right? Dad was confused and scratched his head. Bella wasn't staying because she was drunk? Is that really true? Eric asked and played a recording of Bella's call from that night. Dad, Mom, can you hear this clearly? Ask yourself, if she were drunk, wouldn't she look for family first instead of her sister's husband? What are her intentions? After listening to the recording, Dad turned and glared at Bella. Bella pretended not to see and stayed silent. Lastly, let's talk about your issues. Eric pulled out some documents and laid them in front of Mom and Dad. I don't know where you found an opening, but someone's been transferring funds from my company account using Helen's number. Helen didn't notice, and I almost fell for it. I traced the account back to Bella's card. Bella collapsed in shock, and Tina went pale, unable to say a word. Dad just listened, puzzled. Eric, are you telling me Bella's been moving money from your account to another card? Dad asked Eric. Yes, these are the proofs. Eric handed the stack of documents to Dad. Dad took them with trembling hands. He looked at Bella and Tina with red eyes. Was it you two? Dad, let me explain, Bella cried, clutching Dad's sleeve. Don't call me Dad. Dad pushed her away. What's going on here? Tina leaned on him, nearly fainting. Dad caught her just in time. Bella took out a campus loan, she couldn't pay it back, and the lenders said they could help. Such foolishness. I originally planned to handle this privately, Eric adjusted his glasses. Given the situation, I'll let my lawyer deal with it. Mom, Dad, Bella, you all should talk to my lawyer then. Just then, someone knocked at the door. When I opened it, it was my real mom. Mom? What are you doing here? I was a bit surprised. My mom was dressed formally in a jacket and skirt. Even at 60, she had this presence about her. I came to discuss the contract. She walked in and saw Dad and Bella's family, squinting with a smile. Everyone's here, huh? Mom, have a seat. Eric hurried over to please her. No need, I'm here for business. She waved him off. Eric, when are we filing the lawsuit? Eric glanced at me, tomorrow. Later on, Bella and her mom ended up in prison. Dad was left alone and fell into depression, getting sick not long after. Eric helped get him treatment overseas, considering he's my dad. Honey, dinner's ready. Eric served me food like always. I was halfway through when I felt queasy and ran to the bathroom to throw up. Eric got worried and insisted on taking me to the hospital, and that's when we found out I was pregnant. Yes, Eric and I were having a baby. Spring came again, and a happy life began.